Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz Love Life During All the After Lockups edition. My name's Brianna. I'm here with my lovely co-host Mary, and as you can clearly see, we have the bearded, handsome, rugged Chazz Harbison.
And
looking good,
debuting his beard for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Rocking the beard. Look at that. Looking rugged. Looking
Trying
good.
Something new. Thank
Look,
you.
we made him blush. You're literally blushing. He's blushing. He's turning red. Ooh,
number
what else
6 likes something about me. Yes.
Shut up, number 4. Chazz and I are getting married next. I'm going to divorce my number 3 husband. He's going to divorce his number 5 wife, and then Chazz and Brianna forever.
I want him kicking my ass. He seems like he's a
He's a big burly weightlifter, dude.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, so
I don't know if he can fight though. Now that he doesn't drink, I'm not sure if he can fight.
He doesn't drink. Well, if I drink, come on.
Yeah, same here.
I'll fight the whole room.
Well, welcome to the podcast. It's kind of weird saying that because you've actually been on our podcast like 3 times, but live when we did our lives during the season,
hanging out with us live.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
this is like a formal sit-down interview.
Yeah, exactly. Hard-hitting Barbara Walters style.
Yes.
We got all the tough questions for you.
Right, I know.
Like, for example, I'll ask question number 1. What made you sign up for Love After Lockup? Try not to get too insulted.
Is that a real question you asked me?
Yes. What the fuck were you thinking?
Like,
that's
what the
my
fuck
question.
Was you thinking?
What were you thinking, Chazz?
I'm like, did you see a commercial and say, hey, this would be a great
idea? What an excellent idea. Let me put my life on display in front of the whole world and see how that goes.
Well, so, Branwen and I, of course, we were talking for a couple years. And
it was for a few years, huh?
Yeah, it was almost 2 years that we were talking before she got out. And, and so, she was like, you need to watch this show. And I'm like, I ain't watching that show. I don't watch much TV anyway.
You're like, I'm deep and intellectual. Yeah. I'm not watching that show.
I'm normal, But so anyway, she kept talking about it. She's like, you need to watch it so we can talk about it.
How does she know though? Like, you're in prison. Does she have like access to TV or what?
How did she know about it?
They get to watch it. It's always it plays like I think it plays 24/7 there. It's always
the Love After Lockup channel in prison.
That was their jam. Yeah, it's like she's always talking about how crazy the couples are, and so it's like one day it's like, okay, I'm gonna check out the show and see what it's like, and so that became our thing. Like we'd watch it on Friday, and then Saturday morning or even Friday night she might call me and we'd just talk about the show and laugh about how stupid it is. And then
wow, that's like my life with Mary.
Well, that's what I always think when I watch you guys too. How stupid is that?
Right. You're like flashback.
Yeah.
So which couples did you guys used to talk about?
Yeah, who did you talk about?
Well, like Sean in his first season, and of course, there's John Miller and his
situations.
Okay. Yeah,
John.
And then, of course, everybody always, she always talked about how cool Marciano and what's her face is, and
Brittany.
The third season, they were really, cool and everything. But so we kind of discussed some of those things, and then we'd always be like, it'd be fun if we applied for that show, and we'd laugh at they wouldn't want us, right? And so one day, I think I drank too much or something, but I was like, I'm gonna send them an email. And so I sent an email. I was like, I'm a retired Marine. I play in a heavy metal band, and I'm dating a hot inmate. And I sent him a picture of both of us. And the next morning, they emailed me back. They're like, we want to talk to you.
Do people know you're a retired Marine?
Some people do. Some people don't believe it. It's one of the funniest slams that I got since I've been on the show was I was reading Twitter or Reddit, and somebody's like, he was in the Marines. What was he? The door greeter? And that was the funniest shit. I was laughing so hard. I was like,
he was a recruiter.
I wish I had a thought to say that though. It was so damn funny. I was dying. And then I blocked him.
You don't seem like that kind of guy, but that's maybe because of the stage of your life that we've met you in. Because you're pretty irreverent and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Well, I do. People that talk shit on me on my social media pages, I do block when they talk shit, and it's just because I'm not there for my mom to read people talking bullshit about
right.
me. You're done.
Mary, we could take a lesson from that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop engaging, Mary.
Yes, I know that, Brianna.
Just
I
block
know.
that bitch, okay?
I mean, I'll used to come up with some snarky remark back, and then I give them a few minutes to read it, and then I'll block them. But yeah.
You know what I do? I just don't go on social media. Works
And
great.
that's why I'm the social media manager. Of the
And why
channel.
she gets provoked all the time. And I'm like, whatever.
Oh, I
Social
don't
media
get provoked by
butterfly.
this stuff. This stuff doesn't bother me. Just when
Really?
certain people try to,
Really?
not this stuff. This stuff doesn't bother me. Not one bit.
I don't use Twitter and Reddit because my skin is way too thin for that. But I can
Reddit
go
is
to Instagram.
fierce. It's savage.
Oh, it is. Yeah, those people are
Reddit is
douchebags.
like,
I thought Twitter was
Wild West.
bad until we
No.
started. Like, if someone tells me there's a Reddit thread about us, I have to like take a Klonopin before I check it out. It's
Yeah, I won't
disturbing.
I won't
We get a
even-
lot of, oh, they're so annoying.
But
Especially
there
that
was
one with the
recently
curly hair. It's so
a
annoying.
a good Reddit thread about us.
What? What did they say?
They liked us.
Why? You're stupid. I don't even like us. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
Really?
I
What did
was
they
here-
say?
They basically liked us. They thought we were
Basically.
funny.
We are funny.
Yeah.
What were you going to say to us? Sorry.
Oh,
This
they just
interview
always-
really isn't about us.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
I think we
No,
should
always
cut
just-
it.
they like to say I'm creepy, and they like to say that I'm weird or other things like that. But they never really define why they think I'm that way. They just automatically do.
You
So I think
are
it's-
weird, but I mean that in the best sense. Like, I don't
Okay.
think I find you to be not creepy, but maybe my experience with you is different, you know?
Right. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
in context. Like when I talk to you, I don't think about you as like Chazz on Love After Lockup. I think of you as Chazz, this guy I know. So it's
Right.
kinda
And
different.
then there's those people who comment on your page who see you for 15 minutes every week
That's,
and
I
decide
say
that that's who you are.
And I say that a lot in my responses. Like, you've seen a very, very tiny glimpse of my life, and you're going
Right.
to judge me or even
Right.
think that it's all true. It's like, come on.
I know. Recently, who was it that put out? Oh, Deonte's fiance or whatever she is, Cece, when she published the script that was like, and then Deonte's mother outside the store, make sure she's not doing anything boring, have her doing something interesting, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, this is a little more scripted than we thought. Like,
See, I never saw a script, so
Really?
it was all- yeah, I never did. It
oh,
was all
maybe
just
they
like,
don't
"We're doing
show
this
the
today."
cast members, right?
Probably not. They just kind of say, "We're doing this," and act natural, and that's why it was so weird for me because
Did you
like,
see that script thing? Where
I
did you
didn't- I
see it?
didn't.
When they're
No, I
like,
didn't.
we're going for the story we're going for is Klinger, stage 5 Klinger. Like they literally they had come up with how Deonte is supposed to appear. That was
That's
shocking.
pretty funny. Because there was a post I think it was a response to the video that Married Gasm posted of me, and someone put in there, he's a stage 5 clinger, they should just stay together. And I had a lot of really mean, snarky comments I was going to say, but I think I was a little bit nice about it. But yeah, it was like,
Who were they
I-
talking about? You?
me, yeah. And I was just like, is that your professional dickhead opinion or something to that effect, you know? But my responses were going to be a lot worse, but I refrained.
All I can say is get a job because Chazz has one.
Oh, that's good. I
Just
never
saying.
thought those good ones. Yeah.
I mean, just being real here. And he plays in a cool band, which is called what? Show your
Untold
t-shirt.
Relic.
Untold Relic.
Untold Relic.
And they have a
Untold
very
Relic.
cool album called Pandemonic.
Pandemonic.
I just love your your bandmate with the white contacts. He's such a. I hope you told him how badass I think he is, because I just do.
I hear that from a lot of people. A few people have told me it's like we're obsessed with Jack Storm, which that's his
Well,
stage
how
name.
could you
And
not be with
yeah,
those
Yeah,
contacts?
and
he's
I'm
pretty
like, yeah.
badass.
I'm just like, well, you need to talk to him because he's kind of lonely.
Oh, poor
Poor
guy.
guy.
He must be in his 50s, right? He's like
Aw.
mid-40s, this guy.
Yeah, somewhere around
I
there.
think
I mean,
he's
I can't say
adorable.
lonely. He's not like lonely,
He's
but it's
super
like
cute.
he's looking for love too, just not in
Aw.
lockup.
Tell him to find it not in prison.
Yes,
Yeah,
not
exactly. Maybe.
Yeah, it's not
I
in
mean,
context. Like when I talk to you, I don't think about you as like Chazz on Love After Lockup. I think of you as Chazz, this guy I know. So it's
right.
kinda
And
different.
then there's those people who comment on your page who see you for 15 minutes every week and
I
decide
say
that that's who you are.
And I say that a lot in my responses. Like, you've seen a very, very tiny glimpse of my life, and you're going
Right.
to judge me or even
Right.
think that it's all true. It's like, come on.
I know. Recently, who was it that put out? Oh, Deonte's fiance or whatever she is, Cece, when
Uh-huh.
she published the script that was like, and then Deonte's mother outside the store, make sure she's not doing anything boring, have her doing something interesting, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, this is a little more scripted than we thought. Like,
See, I never saw a script, so it was
really?
all, yeah, I never did. It
Oh,
was all
maybe
just
they
like,
don't
we're doing
show
this
the
today.
cast members, right?
Probably not. They just kind of say, we're doing this and act natural. And that's why it was so weird for me, because
Did
it's
you
like,
see that script thing? Where did you
I
see it?
didn't.
When they're
No, I
like,
didn't.
we're going for the story we're going for is Klinger, stage 5 Klinger. Like they literally they had come up with how Deonte is supposed to appear. How
That's
shocking.
pretty funny. Because there was a post I think it was a response to the video that Mary Gasm posted of me, and someone put in there, he's a stage 5 clinger. They should just stay together. And I had a lot of really mean, snarky comments I was going to say, but I think I was a little bit nice about it. But yeah, it was like,
Who were
oh,
they talking about? You?
me, yeah. And I was just like, is that your professional dickhead opinion or something to that effect, But my responses were going to be a lot worse, but I refrained.
All I can say is get a job because Chaz has one.
Oh, that's good. I
Just
never think of
saying.
those good ones. Yeah.
I mean, just being real here. And he plays in a cool band, which is called what? Show your
Untold
t-shirt.
Relic.
Untold Relic.
Untold Relic.
And they have a
Untold
very
Relic.
cool album called Pandemonic.
Pandemonic.
I just love your bandmate with the white contacts. He's such a. I hope you told him how badass I think he is, because I just do.
I hear that from a lot of people. A few people have told me it's like we're obsessed with Jack Storm, which that's his
Well,
stage
how
name.
could you
And
not be with
yeah.
those contacts?
Yeah,
And
he's
I'm
pretty
like, yeah.
badass.
I'm just like, well, you need to talk to him because he's kind of lonely.
Aw, poor
Poor
guy.
guy.
He must be in his 50s, right? He's like
Aw.
mid-40s, this guy.
Yeah, somewhere around
I
there.
think
I mean,
he's
I can't say
adorable.
lonely. He's not like lonely,
He's
but it's
super
like
cute.
he's looking for love too, just not in
Aw.
lockup.
Tell him to find it not in prison.
Yes,
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
not
He's
an
pretty much already
inmate.
agreed to that idea. Not
Yeah,
in prison.
right.
Definitely.
Try Tinder. Anything's better than that.
Right. Yeah.
Are
it's-
prisoners on Twitter? I'm just curious. I mean, on Tinder, are they?
I don't
Or is
know
it
if they
just you have to
access
go
it.
to like the prison websites?
So I don't really get on Tinder, so I couldn't
Don't.
tell you
It's
for
a really
sure.
stupid fucking place to meet people.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Although I met my husband on Match.com, but you have to pay for that. See,
Oh,
at
yeah, there
least
you
you
go.
know on Match.com they can afford like $12.99 a month
Exactly.
or whatever. it is.
It's well
And if they can't, they're on Twitter. If you
and
can't
you've been
afford
paying every
$12.99,
cents.
yeah, exactly. I'm worth every penny of that $12.99. Just saying.
There you
yeah.
go. I would have paid 13 even. I mean,
Oh,
You
I
know?
love you. Love you.
So, Chaz, how was the filming experience for you?
Mary's gonna
It
stick
was
to the
the
stay
single-
professional here.
Yeah. Okay, well, no, but it was probably one of the single most awkward things you could ever imagine. Like the
Really?
first time we're filming, it's like act natural, and I got like three cameras on me, and someone telling me what to do. That's the last thing I do is act natural. So again, I my voice got quiet. I kind of got a little hunched over and freaked out, and and then there's times when we'd be walking down the street, and they're like, "All right, walk a little bit slower, so our cameraman in front of us don't bump into anybody." Okay, walk more naturally though. You want me to walk slower? You want me to walk naturally,
That's
So yeah, it's
so
pretty fun.
awkward.
Yeah, and then there's
Did
people
you
across
have
the street
any
filming.
thoughts like maybe I shouldn't have done this?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot
Like
of
a
those
lot.
things.
And then were you locked in? Like you're like, I can't get out of this now.
Yeah, you sign the contract before you start filming, and
You're
so
crazy.
You
You're
are
just
crazy.
crazy for
So
doing that.
here's the thing, though. I do take a lot of slack, but also, I mean, it's really been amazing for my confidence because, before I got on the show, I didn't talk to anybody for years. I
Really?
was like such a loner, yeah. And it was,
Oh,
the death of the wife and everything, so that was kind of a negative, and
sorry about that.
so I became a hermit. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. But no, I kind of hermitized for a while because I didn't want to associate. And so getting on the show, it's like all of a sudden when I'm getting ready to meet Branwen in real life and marry her, and I'm just getting with the band and stuff like that, all of a sudden I got cameras on me and the whole world's gonna see me. And yeah, I was nervous as fuck,
What was it
Um,
like watching the first episode with you in it?
Oh, oh God. The only thing I can see is like I hunch when I stand and I get that big scar on the back of my head. And I was so freaked out about all that. Those were the things that bothered me the most. And I talk stupid. I hated the way I talked. And I've actually been working on slowing down and enunciating a little better. And
Yeah,
so
listen, your voice has gone down like half an
yeah.
octave.
I know. I do
I
work with
know.
that.
Now you're a
But
cowboy.
but I mean honestly though, it's things like that I started working on, and then of course the reaction from the fans, it's been really nice and really good for my confidence. And so now when I see people, I don't like hide or shy away as much. So it's been good. I like it,
I mean, we are just on a very tiny scale, but it's definitely been an experience having people watch us and giving comments to us. And yours is on a much grander scale. But I'll tell you, man, at least in the beginning, we just watch reality TV. And I was like, okay, then.
One of my coworkers, I've had one of my coworkers be like, "I hate you so much because now my girlfriend wants me to be more like you."
What? In what
I'm like,
way did she want to?
as far as just being more affectionate and romantic and kind and thoughtful, and I guess he's not. And
Are
I'm like,
you
is your
all those
girlfriend
things
cute?
in real life, or is that just an illusion?
Oh no, very much so. Yeah, I mean, when I'm in love with someone, I mean, I want to show them my attention or give them my attention, and show them that I care for them, and I never want it to be in question. That actually kind of goes back to my ex-wife passing because she died when we had an argument, and I came home after an argument. She told me she loved me, and I ignored her and just walked off. And I came home, she was dead. So yeah,
How did she die from an overdose? Was that it?
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
and she wasn't like she wasn't a junkie or anything, but when I was in the military, she was suffering with pancreatitis or Crohn's, one of the two. They couldn't really figure out exactly what it was. And so they kept giving her pain meds as a bandage. And so, when I retired, they had her on 24 milligrams of Dilaudid a day.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we
Dilaudid's
move
for
here.
reals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We move here, and the doctor's like, we ain't giving you shit until we evaluate you. And of course, she's freaking out because she's having withdrawals and everything. And so she started sneaking behind my back and buying illegal substances to control her pain. And so, yeah, that's kind of what some of the
Yeah, and
arguments stem
before
from.
anyone starts judging that, this is what happens to people
Oh,
in
yeah.
this country. And the
Yes, it
opioid
does.
crisis is totally manufactured.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
manufacturers. This happens all the
Yes.
time.
Yes, it
And
does.
Like
she
no
totally understood.
judgment.
Well, she totally knew that she was addicted, and she was more than happy to try to wean off or do whatever, but she wanted help for her underlying problem, which she couldn't
Sure.
get. And
Right.
yeah, it was, I felt really bad. And of course, that situation made me realize that I don't want anyone that I'm in a relationship to wonder how I feel about them. I don't want them to guess it. So, okay, I put a bum around the whole conversation.
Sorry,
Sorry.
no, I don't want to like blow that off. That's some real life shit right there. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
that you went
yeah,
through that.
that's-
And that's why I didn't hang out with people for a long time. So it was just a bad
I'm
place. So,
sorry.
yeah,
I
thank
had
you.
back surgery, like double level spinal fusion, and they had me on, some kind of opiate for like 6 weeks. And even that, when they, you wean off it, like you get withdrawals. This shit's
Oh,
not
yeah.
funny. And let me tell you, that was hardcore. And it wasn't like I was abusing it at all,
Right.
but I get it. I understand why
Oh,
people
yeah.
get addicted to opiates. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
I tore
it's
a
no joke.
bicep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
tore a bicep, and they gave me they gave me some oxycodone or whatever, and I took one, and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna have to deal with the pain. I'm not gonna even get it down that road. So
I know. I hear you. Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, sorry.
moving right along. Yeah. So, was it what you thought it would be going on the show? Like, what did you think it was going to be like?
I had no idea how large the fans, the reach was of the show. And I was thinking, yeah, there's probably a few.
It's
bored-
recent.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very recent because when I started watching it, like I used to do a Bravo podcast before I met Mary, and I wanted to do a Love After Lockup podcast then, and my podcast co-hosts were like, "Nah, we don't want to do that." And I did like a poll of our audience, and they were like, "We were not interested." Now it's like one of the top rated shows on TV.
It's crazy. I
And
know.
it's
I mean,
watched all over the world.
Is that
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I get text messages from Italy, Mexico, the UK,
Yes.
Australia,
Wow.
New Zealand. Yeah, just all over. Just it's like, how do you even know about us? And I'm huge in Canada. It seems like Just
Yes.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
And
all over.
are the messages similar from each country, or do they have like different reactions?
Generally, they always start out with like, I watched you on the show and I just thought I'd say hi or see how you're doing. They're really concerned with that I'm okay because they probably are at a different episode or something.
Brandon's a cow. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's one way to call her. Yeah. But
don't
yeah,
like
and so,
that
but they're all
bitch.
really nice, and it's like if you ever decide to come out here to this country or that country, say hi, and I'm like, that's a bucket list, so maybe I will. So it's kind of cool.
Do you have like a long list of women who are interested in meeting you?
I don't know. See, that's the problem. I don't know if I have to kind of gauge them. Are they just thinking that I'm rich, so they want a sugar daddy?
Oh, really?
Yeah, or are they
You mean they think the show pays well?
Yeah, exactly. They do.
They're
Every
just
day.
assuming he's rich because he's
Yeah.
on TV.
Don't
Right.
quit your day job, honey. That's all I
At least
have to
once a
say.
day, I get hit up for money.
For
At least once a
real?
day. Yeah, from strangers even. It's like, really? And so it really makes me mad. It's like, especially when it's somebody that I have been talking to for a bit, and all of a sudden, you should, maybe let me borrow some money or do this, and I'm just like, fuck you,
Who are you even, right?
Yeah.
No, this show does not pay well from what we understand. Not at all.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, so there are a lot of people that do try to talk to me, but it's, I don't take many of them seriously at all just because of those facts,
Do you respond to all of them?
I try to.
Oh,
There's some that I don't, that I'm like, I don't know if this is some psycho or what have you, so I won't. And
Yeah,
really,
do you get messages from a lot of men too?
No, not that many from men. Occasionally I do, but not that many.
Yeah.
It's really weird when I do because it's like, hey, dude, what's up? I don't know. What do I say? You're a fan, okay? Oh, the funny part is, so it was funny. In one day, I was this guy comes up to me and he's like, "You're Chazz from Love After Lockup." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I don't watch the show, but my girl does." And I'm kind of laughing off. Okay, that's cool. And it wasn't 2 or 3 hours later, this other guy, "Chazz, let me get a selfie." He takes a selfie. He's like, "I don't watch the show, but my wife does." I'm like, "Yeah, right. That's what everybody tells me. You watch it, you know it."
Obviously, right. That's funny. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's just the
Then the
standard
other
excuse,
day,
right?
yeah. Well, no, the other day was great because my brother-in-law and myself, we went to a restaurant, and this lady was over at this other table. And if you're watching, hi, but she was at this other table and she kept like looking. And finally she comes over. She's really loud in this restaurant. She's like, "You're Chazz from the show." And she's like, go. And I'm like, "Oh no." And everybody in the restaurant's staring at me. And my brother-in-law is kind of teasing me, He's like, yeah, Mr. Celebrity, And so then she comes over, gets a selfie and everything. And I'm just like, "Thanks," And so then the waiter comes by when everybody kind of calms down a bit. And he's like, "You're Ethan Hawke. Can you call my girlfriend?"
Shut the fuck up.
Ethan
Hawke?
Yeah, I was this close to calling his girlfriend.
Oh,
how is
that's fucking hysterical.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like you don't look anything like Ethan Hawke.
No,
we're
white.
We're white.
We love you.
We're white.
No.
We're white guys.
Yeah, we're white guys.
With brown hair. There you go.
It was funny. I was laughing so hard.
Do you like
really
it though? Do you like being recognized or does it bother you?
I do and I don't, because it makes me really uncomfortable because I don't know how to respond and I don't know what their initial mindset is. If they're like, they hate me and they want to make me look like an ass and then get it on camera or something. And so I get a little nervous about that. But most people that met me are really nice. Like I've had some people follow me out to my car and they're like, "I didn't want to draw a crowd, but I just want to say hi," things like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And we were playing some show and the bartender, she was like, "I really want you to come over and take a selfie with me before you leave." And I'm just like, "Oh, that's so cool. Let's do it." It's really neat. And then I noticed she kept watching her tips because she was counting her tips. She was watching them as she was taking this. I'm like, "I'm not going to steal your tips." It was funny.
What? Seriously?
Yeah. She was eyeballing, yeah. Because I was leaning up against the bar and she had her tips lined up. She was counting them out, And so I was getting to lean and take a selfie and she was just looking. I'm like,
so there's the ones who think you're really rich and then the bartender.
And then the bartender who thinks you're going to swipe her tips.
Well, I kind of get it. I imagine because she waited to count the tips till after the crowds kind of went away, and so she's probably used to people trying to steal money, So
harsh.
Yeah, it's a cruel world,
It's a cruel world.
Yeah, it is.
You can't even trust celebrities.
No. So, Chazz, what would you say to someone who happens to be in a relationship with an inmate and sees that commercial? Would you tell them to apply for the show?
Wow. I would first. I would tell them to reach down inside and figure out if they can really take the criticism, because there's no way you can prepare for it. Everything you do is under a microscope, and you even get shows like you all telling me, instead of being a celibate since 2018, you should have just got a prostitute. No, that's still funny to me. But yeah, so you get a lot of people just slamming you, and for no reason other than they want to make up something or they want to get recognized. And
people are judgy as fuck though, for real, and they pick on like the tiniest things. I'm always like, why are you so mean? Like the people who are like, and that one, the one with the curly hair, her voice just drives me crazy.
Yes.
Don't fucking listen, bitch. Sorry, turn it
there's
off.
Other shows on TV. Right.
There's all kinds of people you can watch podcasts about this, right? It's crazy. People are brutal. They treat you like you're not a human.
Yeah.
Brianna,
well, who was it?
At least they don't say you sound like Rosanna Dana.
That's a funny one.
That is true. That is
Rosanna Dana. That's funny. That's a compliment. Anybody comparing you to Gilda Radner, to me, that's a compliment. Sorry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
God bless the dead.
God bless. Yes.
What was it? I had one that they said that I'm always going for women that are out of my league, and they would that.
Oh yeah, because Brandon's so out of your league.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Fucking trash.
But no, she also went on to say that I wouldn't go after Roseanne Barr, and so I responded, "Neither would you." You know. So
She's
and
like,
to
what,
this
30
to this
years your
day,
senior? Like, come
right?
on.
Well, to this day, that girl still kind of stalks me and tries to fuck with me every chance she gets. Yeah,
What?
and
But
yeah,
I
she even
mean, what do they say? What do they think about Branwen that makes her out of your league? Like, she's literally a piece of trash.
I
What?
know
Because she kind of looks good, but she, like, the way
it's a lot of
she
makeup.
does herself, she makes herself look trash. Like, is it about looks that makes you like you have a good job, you make money, you're in a band? Like, what part is out of your league about Branwen?
Yeah, they're yeah, just her eyebrows are on fleek. I think that's the word they use. I mean, I don't really
She
know.
does have nice eyebrows. I'll give it to her.
See, for me, I mean, when we met, my intention was never to meet anybody and fall in love. I mean, her personality when she was clean and sober and behind bars was amazing, and we just hit it off. And so, people are always like, "How could you fall for her?" It's like, well, you didn't know her before, before she got out. And
Well,
yes, it
how did
might
that
have.
all happen? Like, how did you end up falling for someone in prison?
Right. Like, what
Um,
did you guys have in common? What did you talk about?
Well, that, but also, like, what were you cruising those prison websites or what? How did this happen?
well, so like I told you, I didn't talk to people for years, and so
Right.
my thought process was I want to talk to somebody where there's no obligation in it, and so talking to an inmate seemed like just a pen pal was a great way to start communicating with people and see how other people live, and just have a friend. And I was tired of it because it seemed like almost every woman that I did reach out to initially initiated the conversation with they wanted money, and I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you. Your
Right.
fault, not mine. And so I remember I just happened to run across Branwen's ad, and I was like, she's really cute, and her ad was really sweet. It wasn't the one that people have talked about. And the ad I saw, she was like, I want to when I get out, I want to move away from here. I'm thinking about Arizona or something. I want to start a new life so I can not keep going in the circle. And of course, she was beautiful in her pictures. So I'm like, let me say hi. And so we said hi. We kind of wrote back and forth a couple times, and then she's like, well, let's do a video visit, see if we actually like each other. And so we did a video visit, and she looked amazing, and we just hit it off, and we just kept
But
talking a
why
while.
were you like cruising the prison websites? I mean, how did that happen? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing until I watched this show. I had no idea.
Yeah, really. Initially it was like I was looking for pen pals, so I did a Google search for pen pals, and you put a Google search for anything related to pen, inmate, or anything, you're going to get inmate ads.
Oh,
And so,
pen,
yeah,
like in the
so
pen.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And so,
Didn't
I
think of
saw that. I'm
that.
like, well, I was like, that's a good idea. I mean, because I don't have to meet him. It's just it's one of those things I could just communicate again, and yeah, it
We're
was
just
the worst
getting
of the
back on
best
that
thing.
horse, huh?
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, for lack of better words, yeah, it's like I've never met any of them in person,
Right.
except for Brandon. So it was just it was a safe way of communicating for me
So
because I
you
was too
thought until she
yeah
got out.
And so then
right.
what kind of things did you guys talk about? Like, what
Yeah,
did you
what
have
did
in
you talk
common with
about?
her?
We talked. It's funny because people give me crap, or give her crap because she mentioned we used to talk about politics or we'd talk about books and stuff, and we actually did. Um, she would tell me her points of views on different things that were going on in the world politically, and I would explain to her why she was wrong. No, I mean, but no, but I mean, we would discuss
Sounds
things
like
like
half
that.
of my relationships with
Right.
people.
No, no, it wasn't like that. But I
You're
mean,
an idiot.
right. And
No,
like, she had
she
this book.
actually is smart, isn't she? Like,
She's
is
she's
she
kind of
smart?
smart. Yeah, she doesn't have she doesn't have a good vocabulary, and she doesn't have a high reading level, but she does have I guess like a street smarts about her is the best way I could say it.
But she seems like somewhat literate. Is that an illusion?
She's a little bit because when she was in prison, she read a lot.
I
her
think
main
this is the
go-to.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, if
Mary
you
and
guys
I just went on the
talked about
Alcatraz
books,
tour.
I would assume that she would be
Yeah.
somewhat literate if she and
Mary
Chad
was
talked
just
about books.
here to visit me in California, and we went on a tour of Alcatraz. And what we found out was a lot of the prisoners, like that was one of the only things they could do was they had a big library. And a lot of them became very well educated and literate, which is something you don't think about, right? There's nothing to fucking do in prison except reading is one of them. So
I bought her a lot of books while she was in there.
did you? What kind of books?
Usually I'd ask her what she was wanting to read, because a lot of times, like in there, they might have one book out of a trilogy, and she's like, I want to finish it. And so she'd tell me what it was. I'd look up the books and on Amazon and have them sent to her. And
like fiction or what?
Yeah, usually it's fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, she liked fantasy fiction, things like that. So it was cool. And we talk about the books. There was 1 month, like she was reading a book to me, and she'd read me a chapter every night. And it was really sweet. We'd just sit there and she'd read it, and then we'd talk about the chapter. And it was just a nice way to kind of bond and get a new level and perspective on each other, instead of just the usual, can't wait for you to get out so I can bang you, things like that.
Right.
It was just, it was actually a deeper.
Are you a big reader? Do you like a lot of
Me?
fiction?
I don't.
Yeah.
And it's not that I hate reading, but as busy as my life is, if a book doesn't grab me in the first 2 pages,
Yeah.
The unversion's going to be fun. The unedited version's going to be fun.
Did Mary tell you there's going to be a Patreon? If you're watching this and you're not a Patreon member, Mary's going to ask some hard-hitting questions.
Yes, and you need to
That will
join
only
our
be on our Patreon.
Only on Patreon.
Yeah, give us money. This shit costs a lot to make. Just saying.
Yes, it does. Just saying. So,
does.
Chazz, what is up with the divorce with Branwen? What's going on?
Okay.
Where are we in this divorce?
Where are we?
What's the status, dude?
The status is I am now waiting for my court-appointed lawyer to finish his investigation on my affidavit stating I have no way to communicate with Branwen, and therefore she has abandoned the marriage. And so
what is that in Kentucky? Do you have to have like a reason to get divorced? Because in California, you do not. There's nobody gives a shit.
Oldham County, Kentucky has the most stupidest, dumbest divorce rules on the planet.
Like there needs to be cause. You have to like prove why.
Well, you don't have to have cause, but so since my wife won't sign the court papers like she promised she would.
She won't?
No, she always makes up flimsy excuses why she couldn't meet the I don't know. That was a flimsy excuse. I had to work late, or I forgot, or
to work late. Sorry, I couldn't sign my name on the divorce papers.
Right, I couldn't get the guy out of me.
I was too busy.
Oh, do your Branwen impersonation, Brianna. It's perfect time.
I just did. That was that. That was all I got.
But no, so so I don't have her address. So here you have to have a sheriff serve them. It can't be anybody, just a process server. It has to be a sheriff. And so of course,
and she's in Oregon, so you have like no idea where she is, right?
I don't have her address, and so the sheriff didn't know where to serve her except her old address.
Yeah,
and so the sheriff's like, couldn't find her, couldn't sign it. And so then they're like, well, if she'll sign the court documents. And so I found a notary public who I paid a lot of money so I could send him the court documents. He would contact Branwen and meet her any place in the city she wanted to meet at any time. I mean, I paid him a lot so he'd do this. And she was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. That's fine. And she never met up with him. She'd always tell him she'd meet him at such and such time and never would be there.
See, in California, if you cannot find your spouse to serve them, you can serve them by publication.
Can't do that.
So you like put an ad in the newspaper and 6 months later you're divorced. It's like a default divorce.
Yeah.
Kentucky, they're like, no, you will stay married for the rest of your goddamn life.
You're stuck
you will
with that
never
whore.
get away from
You
that
are
bitch.
stuck with that person.
Right?
Damn it.
Right. California, we love divorce.
So
More
then
than
I
marriage.
also got a private investigator. He couldn't find her. He saw her once
What?
going
Okay,
doing
that's
her work.
bullshit because my ex-husband, who is South African, he disappeared on me and took all of our assets. I found that motherfucker in South Africa. So you had a shitty PI because I
I
found
guess
him.
so.
I
But
tracked
anyway,
him
yeah.
down in Pretoria.
Well, so that guy failed me
I'll
too.
refer
So
you to him.
all
Just
right.
saying.
Well,
Shit.
I'm almost broke in the process, but okay.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry.
no, and then
They're
I got
cheap in
this
South
is a
Africa.
warning order. They're cheap, yeah, really. But no, so now I'm on to the warning order, and this is
What is
basically like
that?
I fill out an affidavit saying I can't find her anyplace. This is what I've done so
Yeah.
far, and they assign a warning attorney who then investigates to make sure I'm not lying. And so now I'm
About
really,
what?
yeah, that I can't reach her, I guess, yeah. But so I'm assuming I'm probably paying some lawyer to sit his fat happy ass in Portland, Oregon for a week or two while he checks addresses. And it's like, come on, dude, you're breaking my balls here.
I
So
live close. Just send me the summons. I'll go
but
find Brandon.
you can't serve her. That's just it. You can't.
Why?
It has to be a sheriff. They're
What?
dickheads here in Kentucky. Yeah,
Are you serious?
because I was like, can I just
Like
hire a
anyone
prostitute?
over
That's what he-
18
yeah.
here can serve anyone in California. California and New York are civilized states, you know.
Yeah, not here,
Yeah.
man. It's like, I mean, it's really messed up because I did read through the divorce laws in Kentucky, and you can do a process server, except in my county. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
You
I live in
gotta
the
be
dumbest
fucking
ass county
kidding.
ever.
But your county applies, but not hers. Is that right? Since you're
Right, 'cause
serving
'cause I'm
her,
a
like the
citizen
laws in
here.
Oregon don't have any
No, because
sway.
I live here. That's why. So, and you know, I would rather, you know, I'd rather get it done sooner than later and not have her deal with it. Because I can imagine, I want, you know, I want this, I want that. It's like, you don't deserve
I
shit,
want
bitch. Go
some
away.
alimony, okay?
Yeah, I want alimony.
Alimony,
It's
because
the
I have a
money
lot
that
of
Ali
false
gives me.
eyelashes to buy, and they're really expensive.
Right.
Eyelash glue is really expensive.
Oh, here's one of her excuses too. This was the funny one. So I emailed her because at that time I can only communicate through email before she blocked my email, obviously. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm like, can you please just meet up with them and sign the court documents? Because neither one of us want to be married. I just want to move
Right.
on with my life.
Right.
And so she's like, I'll do it, but I need you to add in a contract saying you won't badmouth me in public. So I'm just like, okay, send me the contract. I'll look it over. If it's nothing stupid, I'll sign it, you know? And she's like, well, my lawyer's working it up right now. I'm like, okay, well, how long will that take? Probably tomorrow. Yeah. So 2 days later, I'm like, you ever gonna send that contract? I'd kind of like to get this done. No response. And
See,
yeah.
tomorrow in Kentucky means the day after today.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But in Brandwin time, it means 6 months from now.
Or
Right. And actually-
Shakespearean time, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow.
Yeah, it just means next time she wants money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
She doesn't ask you for money, does she?
I don't give her shit. I ain't talked to her since May, and I don't give her shit. So
She's a stupid cow.
I know
She is
she
a
really
stupid-
is.
Yeah. So what has it been like the social media situation? And do you find it stressful? Like, I think there's a variety, right? Like you've got the good, the bad, the very ugly. Like, what has that experience been like for you?
It's incredibly stressful because I never know what I'm going to wake up to every morning. You know,
Oh.
it's yeah. I mean,
And do
'cause you
people
get-
fuck with you? Like they're like, I really like you. You seem so great. And then
Yeah, yeah. It's really strange because yeah, they'll act like they like me, and then they either have some ulterior motive, like they're just trying to get me to say something so they can shout it out to the world, or they want money, or they think I'm rich, or then there's like a small 0.5% that actually does like me, and then I gotta kind of filter them to figure out,
I like
are they
you.
for real? I know, but you also have the big bulky killer man that you're married to. So,
That'd be so funny if you said that.
I crush
He's like
you.
he's actually a nerdy poet, physical therapist who just happens to work out a lot. Mary met him
That's why I'm
No,
laughing. 'Cause
right,
That is
like
totally not.
he's like Clark Kent, right? He's like the most, yeah, no, nothing
Well, that
like
just
that.
spoils my whole bad Russian accent, then, doesn't it? I lift anything, put it over here and crush you.
No, nothing like that at all. Literally, I
Nothing
met him
like
on
that.
Match.com, and the reason why I was interested, he says, unlike a lot of men, I hate sports and I love poetry. And I was like,
Brianna said
I'm in.
sold.
Sold. So it's funny too because I recently was talking to this girl who is Russian that lives in the United States, and I the first time that she heard my voice, I used my really poor, bad British accent that I find funny and nobody else does, and then she wanted me to make fun of her accent, and so I had to figure out how to do a Russian
Please
accent.
do a demonstration.
Of which one?
The bad British accent. I want to hear it.
I can't do it on demand. This is the weird part because the show kept asking me, it's like, do the British accent. I can't do it. I want you to tell
Oh,
me to do it. I
really?
can't do it. Yeah. It's like, I have to watch like an hour of the Peaky Blinders.
Okay, well,
so I
just
could-
tell me this. Is it Northern England, Southern England, fake like Liverpool Beatles
It
accent?
depends on-
What are we
it depends
talking?
on what I've been watching that day. It's like, I can't, I honestly couldn't do it right
Because
now.
my other ex-husband is from Yorkshire, Birmingham. They talk
See, what-
really differently.
Yeah, what is it? Thomas Shelby, I can't do it. I can't do it on demand. I try and it never works. If I'm just
How
goofing
come
around
you
talking
don't
my,
sound like you're from the South, though?
because I'm a military
Like, don't
brat, I
people
grew up all
in
over.
Kentucky sound like
do.
they're, yeah.
Yes,
Their,
they do.
their accent's
You
the
don't-
worst.
You don't sound twangy at all.
Yeah, it's from moving all over. I mean, I lived in Hawaii before I lived here, so
Where?
and on Oahu, and I was stationed at MCBH Hawaii Marine Corps Base.
I own a condo in Hawaii now, in Kauai, but it
Yeah.
wasn't my fault. My
Ooh.
dad died and left it to me.
Kauai's cool. Kauai's really nice.
Kauai's okay. It's okay.
Well,
Would you
there is
like
one
to ask the fucking question?
there is one misconception that bothers me.
Which one?
Well, people, they say I flirt a lot, which I do, but I
We
don't
know
mean
you
any-
do.
We know you do.
My dogs are attacking each other
But I
Sorry.
haven't. I don't meet anybody, and I
in
do tell-
person.
right,
Okay,
I do tell them
so-
that I need to be
Okay,
divorced
I'm
before I-
drunk enough to just say there's a rumor that you send a lot of dick pics. Just saying. You haven't sent me one, for which I'm grateful. Just saying, is it true? Is it false?
Well, I've sent a few.
Okay,
Fair.
fair.
Yeah,
I appreciate your honesty.
yeah. And I'm not saying that it's my dick though.
Oh. That's a good
Interesting.
answer.
Yeah.
So if you got a
um,
picture of a big brown dick from may or may not be his.
Well, I was
Maybe not
asked
his.
by someone, they really wanted to see a dick pic.
Fair.
Didn't specify mine.
Fair.
So I did a quick Google search and found someone that looked similar.
I love that answer.
I went there. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. Fair. Fair.
Fair
Mary,
enough.
do you go on to the next question?
Fair enough.
I can no longer read our notes.
I don't even know. Brianna, you have totally went off script, but that's
What else is
okay.
new?
That's okay.
This is how it goes. Mary writes questions. I go off script.
It's what makes the connection, it makes it perfect. So it's
This
good.
You
just
know,
happens at work a lot. I don't take direction well.
No, she doesn't take direction at all. That is, one thing that I love about her most. She does not take direction.
Love you, girl. Love you.
girl.
That gal's
Mary
got
goes
moxie.
off script a lot. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You know.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Chazz, I know you
Yeah.
said you haven't spoken with Brenwyn since May, but if you could speak to her now, what would you say?
Good question. Is that on our list? It isn't on the list. Tell us.
Well, I would like to know, why she lied to me. What was
About what?
her-
About what
about
specifically?
marrying me, and why would she pull that crap about marrying me, and when she really
Yeah.
obviously didn't want to? because I even gave her, we're talking right before the ceremony. It's like, you can bow out right now if you don't want to marry me, and she's like, nope, I love you, I want to marry you. And so what was her end game? I haven't figured that out. And so I'd like to know that.
I'm
And
just
then I'd also like to
saying.
know why she won't sign the damn divorce papers. She's not getting anything from me. That's just it.
Right.
So
I want to know, do you feel like you might be more cautious about marriage in the future?
oh
And I
yeah,
say that as
absolutely.
someone who has been married 3 times, although it's going very well, not just saying.
Yeah.
Do you think you would
I
be more cautious going forward?
I think I will. I mean, of course, before I ever
Like,
get
there's
married
really
again.
not that much reason to get married, let's be real.
Yeah, I know.
You
I
can
think I
live
like
with
the connection.
someone, you can
I
get
like
all
the
the benefits of it. Like,
right. Well, that is true. And don't be jealous, but there is a nice little sweetheart in Texas that I'm
I
careful
didn't
to
even
vouch for.
ask you that. Who is
Huh?
she? I'm calling
I
her
ain't
right
saying
now.
anything. I ain't saying
What's her
anything.
number?
But I'm pretty interested in her, and I don't want to jinx it, so I shouldn't even said that much. But
Have you met her in person?
I have not, and so I won't marry her
Okay, so
until.
don't say shit.
Yeah.
Do not say
Nothing.
anything.
No.
Shh, shh.
Don't marry anyone who you
Oh
haven't
no.
been with in person and lived with for a
Well,
few
yeah,
years. You and
yeah.
I are the
Well,
same age. Please learn from your mistakes.
yeah, I
I
know.
have.
I know.
When I met
Yeah,
my
I know.
husband, he was a little drunk, and on his third date, he brought his best friend, Larry, Mary,
Yes.
Mary.
Okay. Cool.
And
Yes.
and he was like, I'm gonna marry her. And I'm like, the fuck you are. I'm never getting married again. Be
Well,
skeptical.
but
Marriage
see,
is
Brahman's
expensive.
actually,
It's a business deal.
But we do
yeah, it
have a
really is.
special lady we're talking to, Chaz.
Yeah, who is she?
No, I
Tell her
can't.
her
I don't want
name
to.
so I can
I
call
am
her
not.
and tell her I'm
I am
jealous.
not saying anything.
Exclusively here.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. But if it ever comes to being anything more serious, then you'll be the first to know.
But
Cool.
promise me you'll live with her for at least a year before you get married.
Well, yeah,
It's expensive. Divorce is expensive.
yeah. Well, I mean, and people always think that I jump into marriages, or I marry people that are just kind of shitheads, which it's far from the truth. It's like my ex-wife. I mean, she was really normal. She just had some issues with pains that went out of control because of it.
Yeah.
And all my wives I dated for a while or lived with even before we got married. So it wasn't like I jumped into anything.
Oh my wife.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
I would-
I it's embarrassing to say that, but I mean, I
Well,
just
and this is my third marriage, and I'm still saying that.
right. And I like to think that I still believe in love.
But
And
you can
so
believe in love and not like
sure,
marriage is a business contract.
it is.
And I
Yes.
really understand it when it's young people who are having children but like at this stage in our lives, like
Number
what
4, don't be
difference does
lecturing
it
me on marriages.
Okay,
Okay,
number
I can
6.
lecture to both of you on marriages because I'm on my first still. Chaz, how old were you when you first got married? Your first marriage.
I was like 21, 22, something like that.
How long did that last?
That only lasted about a year and a half.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
I got
Okay.
married at 24, it lasted 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And only
Parents
because
So
we had
that
a
was your
kid.
start of marriage.
Okay,
Number 1 was the start.
Mary, how old were you when you got married?
How old was
Yeah.
I when I got married?
Yes,
Mhm.
you.
I was 32.
Oh,
But
Holy
I
shit.
met Brian at 28, had my son at 30, and married him at 32.
Oh, damn.
Okay. How old were you, second wife?
these are hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, you are. These are hard hitting.
These aren't on the list.
I think I
Mary's
must have
going
been-
off script.
You're the
Yes,
only
she
one
is.
that's allowed to go off script? Okay.
I was probably just right about 30 on my second marriage. Whoa, Mary just went off camera.
I was 29 the second time. Should have known better.
Okay, so 30, second marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, how long did that last?
that one kind of sucked too, but it lasted.
Mine lasted for 13 years. That was
Okay.
legit.
We're asking Chazz about his.
Okay, sorry. This isn't about me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot.
I think I think that one lasted maybe 3 years, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
Okay.
do you think it was so short? Was it that you got married too quickly, or
No, because she
You-
had a lot of hidden secrets that I found out about when we got married.
see,
And,
that's why you have to wait longer?
There
Turns
you go.
out. Yeah.
And
we
how long
dated
did
for
you
a while.
know her before you married her?
I don't know. I don't remember. It was maybe about a year, something like that.
Okay.
So,
I don't remember. I was really drunk that year.
Wife number 3.
Right.
How old?
She's getting deep.
Um,
These are
I know.
hard-hitting
I was
questions.
35, I think, 36.
How long
Maybe
did the marriage
36.
last?
About 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were getting better at it
Right.
every
He was
time.
getting better as he was
Yeah.
getting older.
Right.
Okay. And then wife 4 before she passed away.
Oh my God, it's so brutal.
Yeah, so I was like 42, 43, something like that.
Okay.
And we lived together for about 2 years before we got married. And then we got married, and yeah, and that was really good until I retired. Well, and then I
Retired from the military.
Right.
from the Marine Corps. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
because you're still working. You're not retired.
yeah, working
Yeah.
man.
Right.
And what
He's
happened
working.
when you retired? Did it change
I-
things because you were home?
No, it just changed
Because
things.
spending a lot of time together will fuck up a relationship.
It wasn't
Just
really
saying.
that. It was just the fact because the medical issues, and the pain meds, that sort of thing kind of made things miserable. So I
It's
was at
difficult.
home 24/7 with somebody who was constantly in pain or passed out, and
Yeah.
so it was no fun.
You would have stayed with her, or like,
Yeah, I
would
probably
you?
would
I
have.
should have said that differently. Would you have stayed with her?
Yeah, I probably would have. I mean, because she wanted to get out of all that too. So it wasn't like, she was trying to be sneaky or evil.
Yeah.
She knew she was addicted. She knew that she
Well,
needed to get
people
out
who
of
are
it.
in pain and want relief, like, I don't blame anyone for that.
Right.
I have
Right,
no
exactly.
judgment about drug
No
addiction
judgment.
whatsoever, especially when it comes to opiate addiction that comes from an illness. Like, this is
Right.
not
Exactly.
something to judge at all.
Not at all.
Right.
Would you still be married to her had she not passed away, do you think?
Probably, but it's hard to say. I mean, if it came down to the point where, she wasn't seeking help or doing what she needed to get help for it, I probably would eventually been like, okay, well, if you're not gonna help yourself, why should I help you?
Yeah, it's not
it-
fun.
yeah,
I've been
it
in
got
that
to the tough
situation
love.
with someone who was addicted to methadone.
Yeah.
But he was a paraplegic and he had
Oh, wow.
tons of
Right.
yeah, I got with a paraplegic. That's how soft-hearted I am. But
Wow, yeah.
that was deep, and the methadone was for pain, but it is not fun being married to someone or with someone. I wasn't married, but being with someone who's addicted to an opiate. Like, he
yeah.
was nodding out all the time. And when he ran
Yes.
out of methadone, he was having withdrawals. Like, this is some shit right there.
Exactly. Yeah, it was really, really crazy.
We need
And
better drugs, ones that will, help with pain, but don't fuck you up like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is not
Definitely.
funny. Yeah,
it's
the
not
opiate
a
crisis
twisted,
is
messed up
real.
system.
Yeah. What I wish for you is that you take your time. Really, does marriage change much? I mean, besides the fact that you end up having to pay a lot of money if it ends.
Well, like I said, if I
Exactly.
get married again, I will, I'm definitely going to be a bit more cautious about it. So it's not like something I'm going to jump right into.
Please don't. Please
Yeah,
don't.
no, of course not.
Call me and I'll stop you.
Exactly. Call Brianna. She'll stop you.
I will.
Unless, of course, it is Brianna, and then it's like, no, we're doing this.
That will never happen.
That'll never happen. Oh, fine.
Call
Fine,
me.
number 6.
Call me, babe.
Call
Call me.
me.
So what's in a 5-year plan, Chazz?
Chazz doesn't really
Mary
have
loves
5
the
years.
5-year plan.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my
Question.
patented question.
That's her-
Okay.
That and what are the misconceptions
Conceptions.
about
Those
you?
are my
These are Mary's
questions.
favorite questions.
So, I mean, as far as a 5-year plan for me, I mean, I'm slated to graduate and have my master's degree in March.
In journalism, like
Hell
me, I have
yeah.
a master's in journalism. Can you
There
see
we
how
go.
much we have in common?
I
I
know.
know. We should
You and
write
me, babe.
songs underwater scuba diving.
There you go. I can
Yeah.
sing great harmonies. I did.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
And do a YouTube channel on it.
There we go.
but
Enjoy your
but no,
channel.
so I'm gonna graduate, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. If I'm going to just kind of do private, not private, but individual investigations and stuff, or if I'm going to try to get on with a company and do video work. I don't know yet.
It does not pay well. Just
Yeah, I also know that too. So I mean,
that's why I work for tech companies as a blogger.
Yeah, and I'm also like hoping I can maybe just move up in the tech company, doing that sort of work. So we'll see.
Cisco's not hiring. We're laying people off. Just saying.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here
You heard it
first.
here, folks.
Yeah. Number 6 is looking for new.
I
So
love this
far.
interview. I just
Me
want to say
too.
this is
Me
my
too, and
favorite
this
interview
whole
we've
thing
ever fucking
It's
done.
going to be uploaded to our newly established Patreon.
All right.
This whole
Okay.
thing unedited.
Okay.
If you are a
I feel
$5
sorry for
tier
you.
member,
You paid for
you'll be
this.
able to watch this unedited. If you are a $10 tier
Wait,
member,
no, you're just not going to edit it because you're being lazy and you don't want
No,
No,
if you
no,
pay
no.
$5,
I'm
you
messing
see
with
it
you.
unedited. If you pay
Right.
$10, you get to see
$10.
the edited version.
no. The edited version is going to be on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do you
For the
get for
public to see.
$10?
For $10, you get to ask questions. Like you get to submit questions for our future interviews. We don't have any $10 members yet. So nobody was able to submit questions for Chazz. But if we do get $10 members, I will announce that we're interviewing so-and-so, and you could submit questions for the interview.
Wait,
Plus,
are you saying that even Jenna O'Shea did not submit a question for me?
No, Jenna O'Shea did not submit a question for you, Chazz. Sorry.
I think she just restarted our Patreon like yesterday.
Yeah,
we had
I
it
did.
when we were an audio podcast. Mary has revived the Patreon
Yes, I
business
have
model
revived the Patreon.
so much that I don't even know what it is.
And our $10 membership tier also provides one special occasion greeting a year.
So we
if
are
you're-
like Cameo.
right,
a
but
bargain.
Who
it's
Twice
like,
the
does
price.
it? Who does the
it
special
could
occasion?
be you, could be me, could be either one of us.
I'll
Doesn't
do it even.
matter. Right, either Chazz will do it. Okay, Brianna doesn't want to do it. I'll do it.
Wait, put that checkbook away.
Oh wait, there's more
Well, wait.
for just
Okay.
$9.95.
And those are the two tiers, basically. $5 and $10.
Wait, can you cover the value proposition again? Because I totally missed it.
For $5, you get
I love this interview too.
It's my favorite
Unedited
interview we've ever done.
interviews.
This is the best
unedited
interview ever.
interviews, exclusive early access, both tiers. Get to see this interview before we put it on the YouTube channel.
Well, that's worth a lot.
If you have a
This is
$10
high quality
member,
content.
if you have a $10 member, you have you could submit questions in the future and one special occasion greeting from me because Brianna's antisocial.
Are you gonna flash your boobs? That's what I
No,
want to know.
I'm not going to flash my
I was getting
boobs.
ready to subscribe, but damn,
So,
forget now.
Before
I'm too
we
busy.
sign off here, Brianna, do you have
Sorry.
anything else to say to our lovely YouTube subscribers besides hit like, subscribe, and share?
Yeah, that. And also, Mary has great boobs.
So do
That's
you,
all.
Brianna.
Thanks, girl.
Well, I need to
Okay,
work on
no,
my
that's
boobs.
all I have to say.
That's all you have to
And
say.
also, I'm going to add one more thing, which is that you do see things on Love After Lockup. And what I will tell you is that what you see is not necessarily what's real. And Chazz, what you've seen on the show is not everything that I know. He's a cool
Gotcha.
dude. And I'm
He is a
glad
pretty
you're my
cool
friend,
dude.
Chazz. That's all.
Thank you.
Thanks for playing along with all this craziness.
You guys are amazing.
I appreciate
love
you
it.
so much.
I love you both, so it's great. I'm happy to be here.
But you love me more, right? Just checking.
Well, hell
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, we know. We know who his favorite is, Brianna. We know. All right, cool.
Anyway, sorry. Okay, so thanks to everyone who's
Thank
not
you.
paying.